Greetings guys, gals and non-binary pals, and welcome back to another video. It's nice to see you again. I know I missed a video. That's because my Wi-Fi has been acting up a lot, but I'm here now. And I hope that you are well and that you are fighting, because there is a lot to be fighting for at the moment. As usual, there will be donation links, petitions, emails to send MPs, etc. all linked in the description, or you can go straight to thequeerkiwi.com/support. You like my shirt, do you? Well, let me show you a bit closer. Do you see how freaking I love her? I'm bringing out a bunch of tees and tote bags very shortly, and I'm really excited to share them with you. All the tee designs will be hand embroidered by myself. There are 3 different options. There's a rainbow that says just human. There's a rainbow kiwi fruit that says educate and validate. And then there's this whole line of normalize bodies and normalize nudity and just embrace bodies. And they're going to be fully customizable, so you can choose what color thread you want and what body shape you want. These are a couple of the ones I've drawn up so far, but they're obviously all going to be, you can choose. You can tell me sort of what you're after. And I'm really excited to share that with you. So in celebration of that, today I'm going to sit down, I'm going to make one. So I'm just going to be stitching away, and we're just going to chat, and we're going to talk about bodies and the sexualization of our bodies. And yeah, I hope that you enjoy. But before I get into it, I would like to give a big thank you to our patrons who really help keep this going and support me and Kat in continuing to make our videos and our podcast. Amy, Emily, Eliza, Mimi, Jordan, Gina, Midge, Phoebe, and Roxy. Thank you so much. Your support helps immensely. If you would like to join, you get access to a private Instagram, as well as a bonus mini-series that I do a few times a week, and it starts at £1 a month. The link is in the description. Oh, by the way, this is the tote bag that I'm releasing, by the way. Isn't it cute? I love it so much. This is a bit wrinkled because I've been using it like every day. One thing I would like to apologize for before I'm able to release these is that I can only go up to 2XL, which bothers me a lot. Like, I am genuinely really sorry. I know this whole thing is about normalizing all bodies, but they didn't sell any bigger than that. And that frustrates me a lot. Like, I'm genuinely really upset about that. I was really hoping to carry all the way up to like a 5XL. So if you know anywhere I can like bulk buy sustainable tees that do sizes up that high, please let me know, because I feel really terrible. Most of you are here from TikTok. Yes. And a lot of my TikTok followers found me after what I like to call my nipple video. You can see my nipples through my top, and that offends you. I'm so sorry. I forget that men are the only ones who are allowed nipples. I totally forgot. Men and children aren't meant to know that women have nipples too. So silly of me. You want me to go change? Okay, totally. Counter offer. You change your fucking policies. And as you can tell, I'm not super happy about the fact that my body is being policed and sexualized. And I have a big problem with that. I think that, you know, we need to normalize bodies, because if we're teaching people, if we're censoring bodies, we're saying that they're sexual and that they exist for sexual purposes only. If we stop censoring bodies and we stop saying that they're sexual, then they'll stop being treated as sexual. It's a big cycle, right? We teach people and that's what they learn. So we tell our kids that female nipples are sexual, which means that when you get onto like Instagram and things, they enforce that and they're like, oh, well, nipples are sexual. So they're teaching young people that that's what they are, and then they'll teach their kids and so on and so on. And that's why everyone sees nipples as sexual, because that's what we're taught, and so they're censored. But if we stopped saying that nipples were sexual, and we stopped censoring them, and we stopped telling children, hey, women's nipples are sexual, if we just treat them like normal, then they'll stop being sexual. It's all a mind thing. And it's not even just nipples, right? It's just nudity in general. We have that whole thing of like, oh, well, what were you wearing? Because if you were showing your skin, you were asking for it, which is bull. You can wear whatever you want or not wear whatever you want. It's completely up to you. And how much skin you're showing and what you're wearing doesn't have anything to do with your sexuality at all. And we keep driving that narrative, and we keep teaching that bodies are sexual and nudity is thus asking for sex or sexual touching or looking. But if we start treating nudity as just normal and we start treating bodies as bodies, then that's what they'll be seen for. It'll remove the excuse of, well, you were showing skin and skin is sexual, so you must have been asking for it. If we just treat them as bodies, that would disappear. Bodies, of course, can be sexual, but they're only sexual when there's sexual intent. If it's not a reciprocated sexual situation, then it's harassment or assault. I could be there dead ass naked, and if you sexualize me, that's not my fault. That's your fault. And we need to stop teaching that it's whoever's naked's fault or whoever's not wearing much clothing's fault, because it just continues the cycle. We get stuck in this cycle of sexualizing and objectifying and invalidating victims. On a minor level, it's like swearing. If we just started treating them like words and not telling people that they're bad, they wouldn't be bad anymore. They lose their power. It's all just what we teach, and it's all about a mindset. And we're teaching our children that nudity is sexual and that bodies are sexual, and that showing them off means that we're going to be harassed and we have to expect the consequences. And what do you expect if you showed off your body? And that is so awful, because not only is that teaching girls to sexualize themselves and be prepared to be assaulted, to expect to be assaulted, it's telling boys that it's okay to assault women who show their skin. If you teach nudity is sexual, if you're naked, it means you want it, then they're gonna act that way. If you're normalizing that and you're saying, hey, well, she was naked, so she was asking for it, that gives them an excuse. If you start teaching, hey, bodies are cool, all bodies are cool, it doesn't matter your shape or size, as long as you're healthy, as long as you're happy, bodies are great. And you can exist in them however you want. And if someone, and no one should touch it without your permission. Not only should no one touch it, no one should stop and stare at you and comment on your body. You see on TikTok, for example, there are these shirtless men all the time, totally fine. But then you can see my nipples through my t-shirt, just the outline of them. And my videos get removed because it violates the guideline for pornography. But you know what didn't get removed when I reported it? A man jacking off to a minor. That stayed up. That was totally fine. I had 100 people report that, and every single time it came up with doesn't violate guidelines. But my nipples through my shirt, yeah, that does. That makes sense. That seems fair. I mean, that's obviously on the extreme end of it, but there are so many shirtless men on that app. There are so many men who sexualize minors on that app, and nothing. There's no consequence to it at all. Boys will be boys, you know? And then there's also all these other people out here saying that, you know, women are asking for it because otherwise they wouldn't be showing their asses and things like that. And I'm like, no one's asking to be objectified or sexualized. You can do whatever you want with your body. You are choosing to sexualize them. And maybe they're wanting to get male attention. Some people do want to get male attention, and that's fine, but that doesn't give you the right to say disgusting things. It doesn't give you the right to touch them. They're not asking to be touched. They may want you to look at them, they may want you to notice them or approach them. But in what world does someone wanting you to approach them, talk to them, mean you should assault them or harass them? Because I feel like in no world does it mean that. So yeah, some girls do it for male attention, and there's nothing wrong with that. That is totally, totally fine. The problem is when men then take it upon themselves to use that as a way to take advantage of these girls and blame them for it. What you do with your body and what you wear, how much skin you show, what you're doing, none of that is consent. What you're doing has nothing to do with your sexuality or what you want or anything. The only time when you're asking for it is when you're actually asking for it, and the amount of skin shown has absolutely nothing to do with it. Sex equals naked, but naked doesn't equal sex. We need to stop shaming people for their bodies and different body types and different body sizes, because all bodies are valid. Every single body. There is no body that is asking for it any more than another body. And there is no body that is more sexual than another. All bodies are created equally. All bodies are equally valid. And nobody is consenting without explicit consent. No means no, but only yes means yes. The absence of no does not mean yes. That is something very important to remember. We sexualize our own bodies. We're told that we're sexual, so it's so easy to fall into that and sexualize your own body. I look at what I'm wearing and think, what will a man think of this? Am I gonna get catcalled when I go out today? Are men gonna look at me and make me uncomfortable? And it impacts what I do, what I wear, what I post online. And it's scary. It terrifies me because that's not consensual. And I've struggled with this for a really long time. And I've decided that I don't want to do that anymore. I'm sick of this game. I'm sick of living my life out of fear that men will judge me or brand me. I'm sick of hiding my body, and I'm sick of being censored and sexualizing myself. It's tired. I'm tired. So I followed a few girls on Patreon and on OnlyFans and things to empower me and see what they're doing, and I find it really empowering because I don't ever look at them in like sexual ways, because I'm just so blown away by how powerful and confident these women are. And so I've taken inspiration from that, and I've actually created my own. And I struggle with body dysmorphia and I've struggled with eating disorders for years, so it is terrifying, but I've had my body touched, looked at, abused, and I want to claim back my body and I want to claim back my sexuality, and I get to choose how it's perceived, and I get to choose when it's sexualized and who looks at it, and take it back and make it my own. And so if you wanted to join that, the link will be in the description, or you can go straight to patreon.com/thequeerkiwi. I would love to see you there, and I really hope that it's able to empower women the way that I find this sort of thing empowers me. And this is your reminder that you are also more than your body. You are more than your body by so much. Your body is a vessel, and that is it. And it doesn't define you. It doesn't define anything about you. And no matter what it looks like, it is valid. You are valid, and you are beautiful. And not even that. I mean, there's that whole thing of, right, like all bodies are beautiful, which yes, I agree. But I also don't want to be telling you that beauty is the most important thing, because it's not. And we need to stop teaching that beauty is the most important thing. So yes, you are beautiful, but also know that that isn't actually important. I love her. Okay, let me show you. I love her. Look how cute she is. So yeah, once I release these, you'll be able to send me a little note on what sort of body type you like. You can model it off of yourself or someone else. This little one is sort of modeled off of myself, so which is why I love her so much. And so if you want to do that for your own body or just for some other body type, like I did with this one, which I just love normalized fat girls, you know? We want to normalize fat girls who also have saggy boobs, which are great, beautiful. All boobs are valid, all bellies are valid, all bodies are valid. And I want to depict that, and I hope that I'm able to do that for you. That's why in my designs I've also got, like, you know, you can get little scars because some people have top surgery, some people have fake boobs. That's totally fine. I can incorporate that onto it. I'm totally happy to do that. Thank you so much for coming along. I hope that you've enjoyed my rant. If you want to join either one of my Patreons, that'll also be in the description. I am doing a giveaway of one of these teas when I get to 30 patrons. So if you want to win one of those, you should go join. Okay, well, thank you very much for coming along. I've enjoyed hanging out with you. I hope you've enjoyed hanging out with me. I will see you next time. Stay safe. Keep fighting. I love you. Mwah. And when you close your eyes, you replace the darkness.